The courtroom is silent, the kind of silence that makes your heartbeat sound louder than it should. Christine sits at the plaintiff's table, her hands trembling slightly. Across from her, Cody Brown, her ex-husband, the man who once promised forever, refuses to look her in the eyes. Today it's not about love. It's about betrayal. About what happens when the truth you've hidden for decades becomes your worst enemy. Cameras outside the courthouse flash like lightning, the crowd whispering the same question. What secret could possibly destroy the sister-wives' family for good? And as Christine rises to take the stand, a tear slips down her cheek. She knows, once she speaks, there's no going back. But before you judge anyone here, wait until you hear what actually transpired inside that courtroom. If you think you know the sister-wives saga, think twice. Do you mind if I pause here before we continue? Tell me in the comments. If all of your family's secrets were going to be revealed in court, would you fight to keep them or allow the truth to destroy everything? The wooden gavel comes down with a loud crack. Court is now in session, the judge declares, his voice booming through the crowded courtroom. Christine breathes slowly. She's waited this long for this day, possibly years. It has nothing to do with revenge. It's about freedom, about being finally heard after all these years of silence. Case is Brown versus Brown, but everyone in the room knows it's not a legal war. It's the downfall of a faith, a family, and a lifetime of devotion. Janelle sits behind Christine, her jaw clenched, arms crossed over her chest. Robin whispers something to Cody, her eyes shining, playing the victim as always, or so the others perceive. Mary? She says nothing. Watching. A ghost of her past self. But what ultimately comes on trial today isn't money, it's truth. Christine's lawyer, a calm but steely woman by the name of Linda Price, rises. Your Honor, she starts, we are here today because my client was misled, emotionally, spiritually, and financially, by the man she trusted most. Mr. Brown not only broke his marital vows, but also hid assets, manipulated contracts, and coerced several women in the name of faith. A soft gasp passes through the courtroom. Cody's jaw clenches, his attorney scribbling furiously. Christine glares down, not able to look him in the eye. The flashbacks come, late nights waiting for him to return home, vows that tomorrow would be another day, and the bitter realization that she was not a wife, merely a chapter in his book. No one had any idea that Christine's next words would unleash a storm that no one could contain. Mr. Brown, Linda goes on, said he used money from the sale of family property in Coyote Pass for financial security. But it appears those funds were deposited into a private account in Robin's name, an account the other wives never knew existed. Cody's attorney stands up. Objection. That is a misstatement of overruled, the judge cuts in. Let her proceed. Christine's throat constricts. She recalls that day. A mislaid bank statement. Robin's signature. And a growing sense of dread that all she had thought was a deception. I sacrificed 27 years of my life, Christine speaks gently, her voice shaking, and then I was treated like a stranger, like one he could swap. Cody finally looks up, anger flashing in his eyes. That's not true, Christine. You left the family, not the other way around. Courtroom buzzes with tension. Cameras flash. Journalists scribble like wildfire. But what no one realizes yet is that Christine has proof, and it's sitting inside a sealed envelope on the table. The judge requests a recess. Christine goes outside into the chilly hallway, bracing against the wall. Janelle joins her. You sure you want to do this? Janelle whispers. Christine shakes her head slowly. I'm tired of keeping quiet. Janelle's eyes shine. They're gonna shred you apart in there. Let them, Christine replies. I've survived worse. In the background, Robin listens, her phone up to her ear. Nobody is sure whom she is speaking to, but the smile that crosses her face is not missed. And that's when it hits you. This trial isn't about Christine versus Cody. It's wife versus wife, truth versus loyalty, love versus control. When court is in session again, Christine breaks open the envelope. There are printed out screenshots of text messages between Cody and Robin, messages about sending money, gaslighting the other wives, and playing up the perception of the family breakup in public. Cody's face goes white. "This is private," he yells. The judge arches an eyebrow. "Mr. Brown, please." Christine's voice stabilizes. "Private? You made our entire lives public. You exploited us for fame, for fortune, for your own story. Now everyone gets to know the truth." There is a second chorus of murmurs in the crowd. Mary's head dips toward the table. There is something in her face, guilt or perhaps fear. Because what Christine doesn't know yet is that Mary's keeping something hidden that could ruin her entire case. Christine exits the stand, her heart racing. The camera flashes blind her as she leaves the courtroom. She is both free and afraid, like she's just severed the strings that held her back, but doesn't know how hard the fall will be. In the street, the media blitzes her. "Christine, are you accusing Cody of fraud? Of emotional abuse?" She doesn't respond, keeps walking. But she knows deep down inside this isn't over. It's only just starting. Because tonight, when she arrives home, she will discover a letter sitting on her doorstep. No name on the envelope. Only 5 words scribbled in careful handwriting. "You don't know everything yet." Christine's breath hitches. The envelope is cold against her fingers. Within the courtroom, Cody leans over to his attorney. "We have to discover who leaked those texts," he growls. The attorney nods, but there is something in Cody's face, the jerk of his jaw, the fear in his eyes, that tells another tale. He's not only afraid of losing, he's afraid of being discovered. Because hidden somewhere in this instance is a secret even Cody never wanted to encounter. The night air is thick, heavy with rain and quiet. Christine stands on her porch, the enigmatic envelope still shaking in her hands. The rest of the street is dark, except for the far-off glow of a streetlight fighting to survive. She breathes deeply, the paper relaxing a little in her hand. She pauses. And then she opens it. There is a single sheet of paper, typed, clean, and eerily precise inside. "You believe Cody betrayed you, but someone else did first. Look more closely at the Coyote Pass transfers, particularly the first one. A friend." Christine's eyes widen. Her heart beats faster. She rushes to her desk, pulling open drawers until she finds her old financial records, stacks of paper, highlighted, marked with notes. And there it is. A transaction from 2 years before the divorce. Not in Cody's handwriting. Not even Robin's. The signature belongs to Mary. But the question is, why would Mary hide this for so long? The following morning, Christine enters court a different woman. Gone is the quivering, nervous voice of days previous. Today she's cold and resolute. Her lawyer can see it in her eyes. Something is different. Mary observes her intently on the opposite side of the room. She feels the tension building. She feels that knot in her gut tighten. The judge enters, the room stands, and the gavel comes down. "Miss Price," the judge replies, "you may proceed with your case." Christine's lawyer rises. "Your Honor, prior to continuing with additional testimony, my client has additional evidence, something that will totally flip this case in a new direction." Everyone shifts their attention to Christine. Even Cody leans forward. Christine breathes slowly, walks over to the stand, and picks up a folder. These records indicate not only was money deposited into secret funds, but that one of those funds was established by Mary Brown. The room erupts in whispers. Mary goes white. Cody appears to have been slapped. "Christine," Mary whispers, voice cracking, "you don't realize—" "No," Christine cuts in, her voice cold, on the verge of shaking with fury. "I understand perfectly now." And voila, the courtroom is now a battlefield with all wives having to take sides. Cody's lawyer stands up. "Your Honor, we object to this ambush." The defense was given no notice of any evidence in regard to Ms. Brown. The judge slams his gavel. "Overruled." Proceed. Christine goes on, her tone firm but trembling with emotion. When Cody said he was creating a future for the family, for all of us, we thought he was serious. We did. But while we were struggling to get by, while our kids were deciding between college and buying groceries, Mary was quietly siphoning cash from the account. Mary finally rises, tears streaming down her face. That's not true. You don't know why I did it. The judge holds up his hand. Miss Brown, you'll get your chance to speak. The whole courtroom is holding its breath. Christine regards her. For a moment, all the fury in her eyes bleeds out into something else, heartbreak. For in that moment, she recalls who Mary once was, the first wife, the matriarch, the woman who once held her when she cried. But now she is a stranger. Sometimes betrayal is not done by your enemies, it is done by those who promised they loved you. Outside the courtroom for recess, reporters pour onto the steps. Cameras click like machine guns. Christine, is it true Mary stole family funds? Mary, did you secretly plot with Cody? Cody, are you under indictment? Nobody responds. The family stands in two separate corners. Robin grips Cody, sobbing quietly into his chest, the embodiment of sympathy. Janelle is at Christine's side, her expression inscrutable. Do you think she's telling the truth? Janelle whispers. Christine slowly shakes her head. I don't know what to believe anymore. It's then that Mary comes to them, her voice shaking but firm. Christine, please. Meet me tonight. Just the two of us. No attorneys. No cameras. I'll tell you everything. Christine is torn. Every fiber tells her no, but curiosity, that volatile spark, prevails. She agrees. Okay. Tonight. And from there, the story changes, from courtroom drama to a muffled, emotional tempest about to blow. That evening, the two women sit down in an antique cafe on the outskirts of Flagstaff. The rain persists, pounds against the window like a heartbeat. Mary appears older. Not only tired, broken. Christine, she starts, voice ragged. I didn't take the money. I transferred it. I was instructed to. Christine scowls. By whom? Mary glances aside. By Cody. Christine's breath freezes. You're lying. I wish I was. Mary pushes an ancient flash drive over the table. It's all on there. Recordings, transfers, emails. He insisted I do it. Told me it was for the family's protection from taxes. But then I discovered it was to stash money away from all of us. Christine's eyes go wide as she looks at the flash drive, a small metal thing that can ruin everything. But why now, she whispers. Why tell me this now? Mary's eyes brim over with tears. Because I can't continue to lie anymore. And because I'm not the only one he made do it. Christine moves in, her voice intense. What do you mean? Mary's lips quiver. He made Robin open one too. And there's more. Something he's been keeping secret for years. Something that'll land him in jail. And that's when Christine understands this is no longer a divorce case. It's a matter of survival. In court again the following day, Mary is on the witness stand. The atmosphere is thick. Even the judge appears uncomfortable. Ms. Brown, the lawyer begins, you realize you're under oath? Yes, she replies softly. Then recount to the court what you said to Mrs. Brown last night. Mary closes her eyes. Her voice shakes. Cody Brown created multiple hidden accounts. He told us it was for taxes, but it wasn't. It was to secure funds in case the show was canceled, and he didn't want the other wives to have a claim. Courtroom erupts. Reporters gasp. Even Cody's lawyer looks stunned. Cody slams his fist on the table. You're lying. You're all lying. But too late. The harm is done. The judge motions for quiet. Mr. Brown, calm down or I'll find you in contempt. Cody slumps down, gasping for air, his eyes blazing with anger and terror. Christine glares at him from across the room. For the first time in her life, she sees it plain. Not the man she used to love, but the master manipulator behind the facade. And what's worse, that's probably only the tip of the iceberg of what he's keeping from us. The session closes in turmoil. Lawyers hurry, reporters yell questions, cameras flash and flash. But as Christine exits the courtroom, her phone vibrates. An unknown number. A lone text message. You think the flash drive contains the truth? Look at the second file. The secret that's really being kept isn't one of money, but of someone's disappearance. Her blood turns cold. Disappearance? Who? She glances up, eyes sweeping the crowd. Robin's standing by the court doors, watching her with an enigmatic smile. And then, suddenly, it hits her. This isn't about betrayal. It's about something worse. The rain has let up, but the storm hasn't. Christine sits by herself in her living room, the flash drive clutched in her shaking hands. The light of her laptop casts an icy blue glow over her face. She keeps looking at the door, half hoping someone will knock, or worse. She inserts the flash drive. There are 2 files. The first one she already has, the transfers, the evidence of financial manipulation. But it's the second file that makes her blood run cold. It is titled, Project Hope Confidential. Christine clicks. The screen erupts with scanned papers, photographs old enough to have been taken by Polaroids, and an email thread, all belonging to someone named Lena Marshall. She scrolls, her heart racing even harder. The reports refer to Coyote Pass, a land deal, and a missing persons report. The dates all add up, just months before the family had relocated to Flagstaff. Her hands turn icy. Oh my God, she whispers. The last page is a photograph, a blonde-haired young woman smiling by a half-finished cabin. The caption states, Volunteer Coordinator, Hope Community Project. Christine's voice trembles. Lena Marshall, where's that from? And then it comes to her. Lena was the contractor's daughter, the one who assisted with the initial Coyote Pass project, the one who abruptly moved away when Cody fired her father. But what if she didn't move away? What if she never left? The next morning, Christine drives out to Janelle's house. She's barely able to breathe. Janelle, I found something, she says the instant the door creaks open. Janelle brings her in, perplexed. What are you saying? Christine opens her computer, revealing her the papers. Look, this is not just about money anymore. It's about a person who vanished, someone who's involved with Cody's real estate transactions. Janelle gapes at the screen, her face white. Lena Marshall. Christine. I do recall her. She was going to assist me with the garden project. Cody told me she quit. Are you telling me? I'm telling you we don't know what actually occurred, Christine cuts in. And I'm not waiting for other people to inform me. Janelle shakes her head. Christine, this is risky. You begin to dig into this and you could ruin everything, not just him. Christine looks at her. It's already ruined. Sometimes the truth won't set you free, it'll pull you deeper. That afternoon in court, Christine is distracted, her thoughts still going over and over the documents. Cody sees, he always sees. He leans toward his lawyer, whispering something. The lawyer nods, scribbles a note, and glances at Christine with a smirk. The judge begins the day's proceedings. We'll continue testimony regarding financial concealment. But as Christine sits there, her phone buzzes again. A new message from the same unknown number. Stop digging. You're not ready for what you'll find. She glances around the courtroom. People appear intent, but she can feel it. Someone in here is observing her. Across the room, Robin smiles weakly at her. It's not a warm smile. And in that moment, Christine knows, someone within this family does not want the truth revealed. After court, she heads directly to the property at Old Coyote Pass. The land is vacant now, overrun and abandoned. Wind blows through splintered fencing. She pulls up by the cabin site, the same one seen in Lena's photo. The wooden structure remains intact, but the earth around it appears to be dug up, out of evenness, as though it was recently excavated. Christine catches her breath. She moves closer, mud squelching under her boots. Something catches her eye close to the ground, a rusty bracelet. She picks it up. The initials etched within cause her to stand still, LM. Her legs weaken. "Lena Marshall," she breathes. She takes rapid pictures, shaking, then darts back to her car. Her heart thumping so fiercely she can hardly hold onto the steering wheel. But what Christine doesn't realize is that someone is tailing her. Later that evening, Christine transfers the pictures to her computer, storing them alongside the flash drive files. She wavers about calling anyone, then finally calls Janelle. "It's real," Christine whispers. "There's something out there that's buried. I think Cody buried something." Janelle is silent for a moment. "You need to report it to the police." Christine shakes her head. "Not yet. I need to know more. If I go now, they'll cover it just like they covered everything else." Janelle's voice tenses. "Christine, you're not being rational. This isn't about faith or finance anymore. This is potentially criminal." Christine sighs. Then perhaps it's time someone finally makes him pay for what he's done. But justice isn't always served in the courtroom. Sometimes it begins with a gamble you shouldn't make. The following morning, court is back in session. Christine sits silently, her bag held tightly to her, within it the flash drive and the bracelet. When the judge requests new evidence submissions, Christine rises. "Your Honor," she says, "I have new evidence that might pertain to the financial case and potentially more." Cody's head jerks up. "What evidence?" Christine walks forward. "Physical evidence found on the Coyote Pass property." Courtroom erupts. Cody's lawyer objects immediately. "Your Honor, this is outrageous. My client has no knowledge of any such evidence." The judge nods slowly. "We'll review it in chambers." Recess for 30 minutes. As Christine exits the courtroom, she can feel Cody's eyes on her, not angry anymore, just afraid. And for the first time, she figures out something she never believed was possible. Cody isn't hiding cash. He's hiding guilt. But the question is, guilt of what? When the recess is over, Robin confronts Christine in the hall. "Christine," she breathes urgently, "quit this. You don't know what you're doing." Christine faces her, seething. "What do you know, Robin?" Robin's lips quiver. "More than you imagine. More than I can tell." "Then tell the truth," Christine barks. Tears well up in Robin's eyes. "If I do, he'll ruin me. You don't know what he's capable of." Christine advances on her. "Then assist me in stopping him." Robin's fingers tremble as she rummages through her purse and produces a piece of folded paper. "Take this. It's not all of it, but it'll show you I'm telling the truth." Christine opens it. It's a printed photograph, Cody standing next to a truck, dated the same week Lena vanished. In the bed of the truck, something covered with a tarp. She stares up at him, appalled. "What is this?" Robin whispers, voice trembling. "The night Lena disappeared, he said not to question him." And in an instant, the distinction between family and foe is erased altogether. That evening, Christine and Janelle get together to look over the new picture. Janelle's voice trembles. "Christine, if this is real, you need protection. He won't just sit back and watch this happen." Christine takes a deep breath, looking at the screen. "I'm not scared anymore." But even as she speaks, her phone vibrates again. Another mystery text. "You've gone too far. Check your driveway." Her heart stops. She dashes to the window and sees it. A truck parked at the end of her driveway. Headlights on. Motor running. Same model as in the picture. She backs away slowly, mumbling to herself, "He wouldn't," but she knows better. Deep down, she knows he would. She reaches for her keys, prepared to run, but before she can react, the truck moves off, vanishing into the night, leaving only the echo of tires on gravel. The threat isn't arriving. It's already arrived. Back in court the following morning, Christine appears worn but resolute. The judge requests, "Mrs. Brown, are you ready to make your findings?" Christine nods. "Yes, Your Honor." But she is not given a chance to speak. Courtroom doors fly open. Police officers enter, followed by two detectives. One of them strides over to the judge and whispers something. The judge is taken aback. This court is in recess until further notice. Every one of them mutters in shock as the detectives move in on Cody. "Mr. Brown," one of them says, "we have a few questions about the disappearance of Lena Marshall." Cody's face goes white. "What?" "No. This is crazy." As they pull him out of the courtroom, Christine stands immobilized. Her hands tremble, her breathing shallow. She finally whispers to herself, "It's real. It's all real." And from the other side of the room, Robin looks at her with a weird, unplaceable expression, between fear and relief. But here's the thing, Cody's arrest isn't the end of the story. It's just the beginning. Because the evidence Christine stumbled upon may not just send him to prison. It may also reveal someone she never suspected. It's been 3 days since Cody's arrest, and still nothing feels real. Courthouse hallways are more subdued now. Reporters stand in small groups, whispering as though they fear to talk too loudly. Christine passes through them with her head bowed, holding the file that turned everything around. Inside, the air is chilly. The judge has called for a closed hearing. No cameras, no media, only the Browns and the attorneys. For the first time in years, the sister wives sit together. No smiles. No makeup. No pretenses. Cody walks in, wrists unbound but eyes empty. He appears older, worn down. Christine isn't sure if he's afraid or plotting. Most likely both. The judge rumbles in his throat. Prior to continuing, the court has had new evidence. Someone has come forward with a confession pertaining to Lena Marshall's disappearance. A gasp circulates through the room. Christine clutches her seat. Cody tenses up. "Confession," he growls. The doors swing open. A woman is led in, surrounded by detectives. It's Robin. Her makeup has been wiped away, her hair tied back. She appears fragile, far from the groomed, weeping TV starlet. She takes a seat, shaking. "Your Honor," she starts, voice breaking, "I have to tell the truth. Everything." And in that one moment, every eye in court is fixed on her, because what she is about to say is going to change everything. Robin's hands tremble, holding a printed letter. "This is my statement." She looks at Cody and then at Christine. "I didn't kill Lena, but I assisted in covering up what happened to her." Christine's heart plunges. "You what?" Cody whacks his hand on the table. "Don't do this, Robin." She winces, tears streaming down. "I must." The judge gestures for quiet. "Go on, Ms. Brown." Robin weakly nods. It began the evening she came to confront Cody. She had evidence that money was being drained out of the family account. She threatened to expose it. Cody panicked. "He called me. He told me he just needed to talk to her, to calm her down. I trusted him." She hesitates, her voice shaking more. "When I arrived at the scene the following morning, her car was still present. And Cody, he was dirty." Christine whispers, "No," Cody yells, "that's a lie. I was repairing the foundation." Robin's voice is rising, on the brink of breaking. "You instructed me to remove her car." Courtroom erupts. The judge slams the gavel repeatedly, yelling for order. And there, in the midst of that chaos, the truth starts to splinter into shards too hurtful to bear. When the commotion finally subsides, Christine's attorney inquires softly, "Ms. Brown, did you acquiesce to that request?" Robin nods tearfully. "Yes. I took the car to a storage facility." He said it would shield the family. I was so afraid. Christine glares at her, tears searing in her eyes. Guard the family? Robin, you destroyed it. Robin doesn't look up, can't. The judge excuses the room for recess, but the silence that follows weighs more than words. Christine steps out into the hallway, resting against the wall. Her body shakes. She doesn't know if it's from shock or breaking her heart. Cody's voice sounds behind her. You think you've won, Christine? You think this is going to turn out well for any of you? She spins around, her eyes red. No, Cody. I don't want to win. I just want the truth. Cody smiles slightly. Then you'd better be prepared to hear it. 'Cause sometimes the truth doesn't heal, it shatters. Later in the evening, Christine sits alone once more in her car, courthouse lights shining behind her. She plays Robin's words back and back. He was covered in dirt. What did that mean? Could Lena still be out there? Her phone rings. Another mysterious text. You're close, but not close enough. Ask Mary about the storage lot. Christine stiffens. Mary? She calls her right away. Mary answers on the second ring, her voice trembling. Christine, I knew this was going to happen. I told him we couldn't keep it a secret forever. Christine's pulse spikes. Hide what, Mary? Tell me. But Mary's voice drops to a whisper. Not on the phone. Meet me at the old office now. Every instinct screams not to go, but Christine's need for answers wins again. The old office is dark, dusty, and abandoned. The family used it back when they managed their online business. Christine steps inside, flashlight in hand. Mary, she calls softly. A groan responds from the back room. Mary appears, white and trembling. You shouldn't have come. What's happening? Christine asks. Mary's eyes well with tears. Lena didn't die like you think. Christine's breath hitches. Then what occurred? She discovered the accounts, yes. But she discovered something else. Something Cody was frantically trying to keep under wraps. Christine inches forward. What secret? Mary turns aside. Lena wasn't a stranger. She was Cody's daughter. Before the show, he kept her a secret to keep his reputation. Christine's knees almost give out. You lie, Mary blinks slowly. No. I saw the birth certificate. I assisted him in keeping it a secret. I thought I was saving the family, but when she appeared insisting that he acknowledge her, he lost it. Christine's world turns. The deceit, the manipulation, the keeping secrets, all make sense now. Cody hadn't been guarding just money. He was guarding himself. And now everything, each marriage, each vow, each spiritual union, rested on that one secret in the ground. Christine leans forward, whispers, Mary, where is she now? Is Lena alive? Mary's face contorts in anguish. I don't know. He said she'd left. But I think she's still there, somewhere on that land. Christine's throat constricts. Then we must inform the police. Mary weakly nods. I already did. Christine looks at her in shock. What? I sent them the coordinates this morning. They're excavating as we speak. Beyond the house, distant sirens wail in the distance, making their way toward Coyote Pass. The following morning, headlines are splashed across everywhere. Human remains found at the Browns' Coyote Pass property. Officials verify the find is a match for an old missing person report, under a different name. Christine sits watching in mute shock, her coffee cooling in her hands. Robin's face appears on screen, sobbing as she's led away by police. Mary turns herself in for obstruction. And Cody sits in the court blankly staring forward as the walls finally close in. Christine draws a slow breath, the weight of 27 years on her chest. Truth has finally emerged, but at a price no one was prepared to pay. As the session concludes, the judge declares that Cody Brown will go to trial on charges much more serious than fraud. charges that could remake the world's understanding of him. Christine exits the courtroom a final time. Outside, the breeze seems lighter, the air cleaner. She doesn't smile, but finally in her life, she breathes without shame. Behind her, reporters yell questions. Christine, how does it feel to see justice? Do you forgive him? She doesn't respond. She only whispers to herself, some truths don't need forgiveness, they just need to end. And as she walks off, her phone vibrates one last time. You did the right thing. A friend. She looks at the screen, a tear rolling down her cheek. Who are you? She whispers. But there's no answer. There's only silence. It's been 6 weeks since the fateful confession. Courthouse, where once echoes of anger had rung out, now echoes with silence, like a tomb of secrets. Christine sits in the front row, hands clasped tight, waiting for the judge to read out his verdict. Cody Brown sits a few feet away, shackled but serene. No smug smile, no tantrum, no sobbing, only emptiness. Behind him, Robin gazes downward at her lap, mouthing something only she can hear. Mary isn't present today. She's doing her time for obstruction, silently locked away in a women's center 2 states away. Janelle, however, she's present, sitting next to Christine for the first time in years. Their hands brush lightly, not in comfort but in silent solidarity. The judge clears his throat, his voice weighed down. Having considered all the evidence, witness statements, and forensic reports, this court holds Cody Brown guilty of voluntary manslaughter and obstruction of justice. Gasps run through the courtroom. Christine closes her eyes. It's done. Or perhaps it isn't, for sometimes justice doesn't mend the wounds truth leaves behind. Cody's sentencing is short. He's sentenced to 22 years with parole after 14. Christine stands there as he's escorted away in handcuffs, his face inscrutable. Media erupts outside. Cameras blink, microphones swarm around, voices coalesce into pandemonium. Christine, did you think justice was done? Did Cody ever admit to you directly? Do you think of yourself still as a sister wife? Christine pauses briefly on the courthouse steps. Cold wind whips down her coat. She addresses the closest camera directly. Her voice firm but charged with emotion. I didn't come here for revenge. I came for peace. And peace isn't about winning, it's about finally stopping the lies. She then walks away. No tears this time. No reluctance. Just finality. 'Cause when you spend decades trapped in someone else's truth, freedom tastes like silence. Weeks go by. Christine's life quiets down, almost too quiet. She's living in a little house near Flagstaff, alone and in silence. Janelle comes by occasionally. They discuss mundane topics, cooking, grandkids, flower gardening. Anything but the past. Robin, on the other hand, remains in separate wait for her own sentencing as an accessory to the cover-up. She's reportedly disintegrated utterly. No visitors, no statements, no pleas. One night, Christine scrolls on her phone and comes across a news clip. Cody has gone on record from prison. His voice, weak, plays in the static of the video. I loved them all. Maybe too much. Maybe not enough. But I'm not the monster they think I am. I was protecting my family. Christine shakes her head gently. Protecting your family? You destroyed it. She turns off the screen. The house drops back into silence. But silence can be deadly, because in silence the past speaks the loudest. Late that evening, Christine cannot sleep. She rises, pours herself a cup of tea, and browses through the box of vintage letters from the early years of the sister wives. Photos, notes, shared dreams, all elements of a family that once thought love could be multiplied. At the bottom of the box, something gets her attention, a sealed envelope addressed to her in handwriting she hasn't seen in years. The letters say L.M. Her breath catches. Lena Marshall. She lowers herself into the chair slowly, shaking fingers opening it. Contains a single piece of paper. Christine, if you're reading this, it's because I failed to repair what my father destroyed. But know this, I never sought revenge. I simply wanted to be noticed. There's more you don't know. Locate the second ledger, the one that is stashed in the cabin. It'll reveal who assisted him in relocating the money. I hope you'll pardon those who kept quiet. Christine's heart beats faster. The second ledger? That implies there's still another dimension to Cody's plan. Perhaps others are involved. 'Cause all secrets come to an end, but not all lies are buried. The next day, Christine returns to Coyote Pass. Police tape remains fluttering in the winter wind. Property remains still, vacant, eerie. She has no problem finding the old cabin, its windows shrouded in dust. Inside, all she can smell is time, wood, earth, rot. She looks around with caution, drawers, floorboards, closets. Nothing. Then she notices a loose board under the old fireplace. She opens it with a pry, exposing a small black notebook. Inside are transactions, handwritten, but not by Cody. These are done by someone else. Every page contains withdrawals from the family fund, signatures on the bottom, initials JB. Christine's eyes go wide. Janelle Brown. That evening, Christine drives to Janelle's house. Janelle opens the door with a weary smile. You shouldn't be here so late. Christine flashes the notebook. Then explain why your initials are in this. Janelle stiffens. Where did you get that? Coyote Pass, Christine says icily. Under the fireplace. Janelle's lips quiver. I didn't know he hurt her. I thought we were saving money. Cody said it was property taxes for the future. Christine moves in closer. You knew something was off, Janelle. You knew. Tears stream down Janelle's face. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to believe that we weren't a lie. If I said it then, everything would have broken apart. Christine's face relaxes, but not much. It already did. And that's when the audience realizes guilt does not always wear a look of crime. Sometimes it wears a look of silence. Days later, Christine brings the notebook to the authorities. They thank her, but she recognizes what this does. Another investigation, another cycle of headlines, another wound reopened. Till she doesn't waver. Truth is worth light, no matter how low it burns. Months pass. Cody's case recedes from the front pages. Janelle helps the investigators and escapes charges, but vanishes from public life altogether. Robin serves 2 years for tampering with evidence. And Christine, the woman who once stood silently behind a man she believed she could trust, now stands as a beacon of strength. She begins to give interviews about emotional abuse, manipulation, and the cost of silence. Her voice shudders sometimes, but she never ceases speaking. One evening, after a grueling interview, she gets an email from an unknown address. The headline reads, "A friend." Her heart leaps. She opens it. You did it. You completed what I was unable to. The truth's safe now for all of us. Goodbye, Christine. There is no signature. Only one attachment, a photograph of Lena as a little girl sitting next to Cody, smiling. Christine shuts down her laptop slowly, her eyes welling up with tears. Goodbye, Lena, she whispers.